Iowa Live.
Welcome to the program, everyone. We are going to show you what you can do with a small space and some incredible landscaping, courtesy of Capital Landscaping. Phil Glazer is joining us right now. And to say that this house jumped off the block when driving up is an understatement. This house here, Curb Appeal, wins the award.
It's a small set for the house to be on. There's not a lot of yard space, and what we were trying to do is just maximize the curb appeal as you're driving by, and also it's functional in everything that we did to lead you into the front door.
All right, so look at this. What is this right here?
That's creeping phlox, and that started as 3 plants about 20 years ago.
Wow, so this really is a long-term project too. Yeah. And you look at the front yard, I don't see any mowing here, Phil.
No, the people that live here really don't want to mow, and so we've done everything to minimize that. We have pear trees that bloom in the spring, we have a crab apple, we have a serviceberry that'll bloom. The irises are just coming up with the tulips, and then it'll transition into the roses, and then a lot of black-eyed Susan and daisies will be coming shortly.
So you think the front of the house is attractive. Wait till you get a load of the back in a small space and what you can do that is simply amazing. All right, Phil, we are in the backyard here now. And how big of a space do we have here?
We have about 2,500, 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and come on in. We do a step up to correct our elevation. There's only one step.
Okay.
And what the homeowner wanted was a total relaxation area that they could entertain in. And it's evolved over the years. And so what we set up with, we have a big green egg, and we created the countertops just to fit that.
Okay.
He has a pizza oven, and it is a wood burning, so we do have the wood stacks. And then if you look down, we actually have mosquito control too, and that's just that little black bucket. And we put it there for the commercial, but that isn't actually where we store it.
Okay.
You don't actually have to see it. And
I love the patio area here, the blocks that you use here. How is this done?
The pavers are set up. She wanted to be able to have moss, so we actually got some moss, spread it, and the moss grows really well, and it's held up. It's been here 20 years. The only thing is we had to remove some trees, so the mosses recede a little bit, but then we added the sunshade, and now it's all come back.
Yeah, look at the shade here. This is really a nice addition here because they have some trees that will show that are no longer there. The stumps are left, but this gives you the shade that you need at that time of day.
And then they're big entertainers, and what they discovered over time was they would have 10 to 15 people, and so they have a little table there, but then they noticed that they really needed another entertainment area, and so then they added the fire pit out in the yard.
Yeah, explain that, what you have down there, the silver one, way on the far side with the big chairs.
The silver one is a wood-burning fire pit, and it is smokeless. You actually can light it, and about 5 minutes after it starts, there's no more smoke because it just generates enough heat. And so what we found out is the younger adults will usually migrate there as the sun goes down. And then we also have the fire pit that has water that comes out of it in the evening.
Yeah, look at that, just down here. That is gorgeous, and we'll take a look right now as to what this looks like at night. And that is a stunning appearance at night with fire and water.
And everything is set up so that you can entertain. There is a sound system for music in the evening. You can hook it to your phone. The lights you can override, so if you find out you're going to stay out later, you can override the lights and keep them going. And then the lighting is minimal. We have a little bit on the pathway, a little bit actually in the water for the stream, and we have the black pillars in the back, and those are actually lights too.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do have to have a light on the wine sign way in the back.
so you can see the wine sign. And there's one of the stumps from the big trees that were back there.
Yeah, there were 3 big trees 20 years ago, and they all got diseased over time, so we had to remove them. And when we did it, we had to actually remove the whole backyard and put everything back in place to get access.
Wow, and then Jake, why don't you step up here a little bit? We want to talk about this water feature here, because this water feature is stunning. Again, would be an understatement here. You start up with a little waterfall over there. Explain that, Phil.
But the way the water feature works, it's a recycling water feature, and none of the ponds that you see where they're collecting water are over 4 inches deep. All the water is stored below grade, and it just recycles, and the electricity when we run it, and we can run it basically from mid-March up until Thanksgiving when it gets a little too cold, it runs you about $30 a month to run the electrical on the whole system. There is no maintenance. If you have an irrigation system, we can actually hook it to your irrigation system and it'll feed itself. Or at this house, they do it and they tell me they add water about once a week.
Really?
And it's self-sufficient.
This is absolutely amazing. And we have 235 is a couple of 100 yards away at the most. And the water feature drowns out the sound.
And that was the whole point. So in the evening, you lose track of the interstate and all you hear is the sound of water. And the biggest benefit is, and it's in the afternoon and early in the morning, it'll be filled with 10 to 15 birds.
Wow.
And occasionally at night, they'll see raccoons swimming in the stream.
No way.
Too. Yeah.
See what you can do. And you said this is what, 2,500 square feet roughly? 25 to 3,000
That's
square feet?
all the room we had to work with back here, and they had a long list of what they'd like to have.
Yeah. All right, Phil, people want to turn their space like this into an oasis like you have done here with this property. How do they get a hold of Capital Landscaping?
The best way to contact us is to either call the office at 515-244-2724, or you can go to our website at capitallandscaping.com. And we do have a form you can fill out, and one of the designers will call you back.
Oh, that is awesome. So if you want your backyard, no matter how small the yard might be, turned in, let's go down here, turned into this. How cool is this? Think about this. You come home from a long day, you walk in your own backyard, across your bridge, on your stream, through the patio block walkway, and you sit right by your fire pit and relax. Phil, this is what you do. This is how you do it.
We'll get some beers out.
We'll be right back. This is Iowa Live, luxuriating fire pit side.